Below is an overview of the following JavaScript objects: functions, return statements, JS events, on mouse over, on click, objects, math functions in JavaScript, arrays, and array functions JavaScript. Let join, slice, pop, push, shift, unshift, sort, conditional and loops, if else switches, case, logic building, happy flow, edge cases, for loop, while loop, variables and scope, advanced operators, array objects, spread operator, rest operator, functions and higher order functions, value and reference and closures. JavaScript is a powerful programming language that can add interactivity to a website. It was invented by Brandon Eich. Functions are a way of packaging functionality that you wish to reuse. It's possible to define a body of code as a function that executes when you call the function name in your code. That is a good alternative to repeatedly writing the same code. You have already seen some uses of function. For example, that myVariable is equal to document.querySelector h1 alert hello built into browser JavaScript functions. The return statement ends function execution and specifies a value to be returned to the function caller. JS events, HTML elements are things that happen to HTML elements when JavaScript is used in HTML pages. JavaScript can react on these events. On mouse over, the user clicks the mouse over an HTML element. On click, the user clicks an HTML element. The user moves the mouse over an HTML element. On mouse over, on click, the user clicks an HTML element. Objects in JavaScript. Almost everything is an object. Almost everything is an object in JavaScript. All JavaScript values except primitives are objects. Objects in JavaScript, just as in many other programming languages, can be compared to objects in real life. In JavaScript, an object is a standalone entity with properties and type. Compare it with a cup, for example. A cup is an object with properties. A cup has a color and design, a weight and material it is made of, etc. The same way, JavaScript objects can have properties which define their characteristics. A JavaScript object is an entity having state and behavior. Properties and methods, for example, car, pen, bike, chair, glass, keyboard, monitor, etc. JavaScript is an object-based language. Everything is an object in JavaScript. JavaScript is a template based, not class based. Here we don't create a class to get the object, but we directly create objects. Math functions in JavaScript. The JavaScript math object allows you to perform mathematical tasks on numbers. The syntax for any math property is math.property. The syntax for any math method is math.method parenthesis parameter number. Math is a built-in object that has properties and methods for mathematical constants and functions. It's not a function object. Math first with the number type. Array is an array function in JavaScript. The array object is used to store multiple values in a single variable. JavaScript array methods length sets or returns the number of elements in an array. Joins all the elements of an array. Length sets or returns the number of elements in an array. Joins all the elements of an array into a string. Joins all the elements of an array into a string. Slice adds removes element from an array. Slice adds removes elements from an array. Slice adds removes elements from an array. Slice adds removes elements from an array. Slice selects a part of an array and returns a new array. Slice a part of an array and returns the new array. Pop removes the last element of an array and returns that element. Push adds new elements to the end of an array and returns the new length. Push adds new elements to the end of an array and returns a new length. Remove Pop removes the last element of an array and returns that element. Push adds new elements to the end of an array and returns the new length. Pop removes the last element of an array and returns that element. Last element. Push adds new element to the end of an array and returns the new length. Slice adds removes elements from an array. Slice selects a part of an array and returns a new array. Shift removes the first element of an array and returns that element. Adds new elements to the end of an array and returns the new length. Shift removes the first element of an array and returns that element. Unshift adds new element to the beginning of an array and returns the new length. Mm, Shift removes the first element of an array and returns the first element. Shift removes the first element of an array and returns that first element. And shift adds new elements to the beginning of an array and returns a new length. joins all elements of an array into a string, adds, splice, adds, removes elements from an array, slice selects a part of an array, returns the new array, removes the last element of an array and returns that element. Push adds new elements to the end of an array and returns a new length. Shift removes the first element of an array and returns that element. Adds new element. Unshift adds new element to the beginning of an array and returns the new length. Push adds new elements to the end of an array and returns a new length. Uh, Unshift adds new elements to the beginning of an array and returns the new length. Shift removes the first element of an array and returns that first element. Pop removes the last element of an array and returns that element. Select slice selects a part of an array and returns the new array. Slice selects a part of an array and returns the new array. Splice adds removes elements from an array. Mm, Pop removes the last element of an array and returns that last element. Push adds new elements to the end of an array and returns a new length. Shift removes the first element of an array and returns that element. Unshift adds new elements to the beginning of an array and returns the new length. Sorts elements of an array in alphabetical order. Conditional statements by converting all the elements in a string. Mm, Conditional statements and loops. Conditional statements transfer control with the program. Within a program, loop statements test a condition to determine how many times to repeat a set of statements. Conditional statements are used to perform different actions based on different conditions. Very often, when you write code, you want to perform different actions for different decisions. You can use control statements in your code. To do this in JavaScript, we have the following conditional statements: use um, if else switch case, uh, if else switch case. Use if to specify a block of code to be executed. If a specified condition is true, use else to specify a block of code to be executed. The same condition is false. Use else if to specify a new condition to test. If the first if condition is false, uh, use switch to specify many alternative blocks of code to be executed. If else switch case, the switch case statement is used to perform different actions based on different conditions. Logic building, happy flow in the context of software uh, information modeling. A happy path, or sometimes called as happy flow, is a default scenario featuring no exceptional or error conditions. The happy path is designed to help users achieve their end goals, but the unhappy path ends abruptly without the user achieving the desired outcome. There are many ways things can go wrong within an app, and so there is no single unhappy path. Edge cases algorithms are built to handle specific data structures with a range of accepted parameters. Uh, an edge case is a problem or situation that occurs only at an extreme, maximum or minimum operating parameter. For example, large values accepted types. For example, inputting a string when a number is expected, emptiness like an empty array when uh, an array filled with elements is expected. Accepted data structures. For loops. A for loop repeats uh, until a specified condition evaluates to for false. The JavaScript for loop is similar to Java and C for loop. While loops. A while statement executes a statement as long as specified condition evaluates to true. A while statement executes statements as long as a specified condition evaluates to true. Break statement. Use the break statement to terminate a loop. Switch uh, uh, case. Uh, Switch block. For in and for of, while for in iterates over property names, for of